let us discuss the topic Animal Kingdom, and in previous class we have studied the topic biological classification. So there I told you, today in the field of biology, the system of classification, what we are following is R.H. Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification. So Robert H. Whittaker 1969 has classified the entire living world into 5 kingdoms. If you remember, what are the 5 kingdoms? Plantae, Animalia, Protista, Monera and Fungi. So I already told you, Plantae is the kingdom of multicellular autotrophs, because most of the plants, with very few exceptions, their bodies are made up of millions of cells and they can perform the function of photosynthesis. So they synthesize their own food. But coming to animals, so according to R.H. Whittaker, what are animals, or what kingdom Animalia includes? Kingdom Animalia includes what? Multicellular heterotrophs. So biologically or technically, if we have to define animals, so simply what are animals? Animals are multicellular heterotrophs. So what does it mean? Body of an animal is made up of large number of cells, but animals cannot synthesize their own food materials, or they cannot fulfill their own nutritional requirements. So that's why they depend on other organisms to meet their nutritional requirements. So animal kingdom or kingdom Animalia is nothing but it includes what? Multicellular heterotrophs. So when we follow Robert Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification, the kingdom Animalia is classified into 2 subkingdoms, namely Parazoa and Eumetazoa. So Parazoa is the kingdom which includes only one phylum, that is Porifera. So with this, a very important point students should remember. Actually, whenever we talk about animals, animals starts with protozoa. But what are protozoans? Protozoans are the unicellular animals, or I can call they are the unicellular eukaryotes. So if you remember, though protozoans are animals, they were not included in kingdom Animalia in R.H. Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification. Why, tell me? If you remember, in R.H. Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification, there is a kingdom called Protista, right? Protista is the kingdom of what? Unicellular eukaryotes. So that's why protozoans have not given any status in kingdom Animalia in R.H. Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification. Protozoans are included in the kingdom Protista. So according to 5 kingdom classification, animal kingdom starts with which phylum? Porifera, and only poriferans are included in a separate, what I said, subkingdom, because Animalia is the kingdom and kingdom Animalia is classified into 2 subkingdoms, namely what? Parazoa and Eumetazoa. So Parazoa kingdom includes only one phylum, that is Porifera. So you may get the doubt here, why the single phylum has given the status of a subkingdom. So here importantly students should remember, poriferans are the only multicellular animals without tissues. In the animal kingdom, the only multicellular animals without tissues are sponges. So during your schooling also you have studied animals belonging to phylum Porifera are commonly called sponges. And what is the speciality of Porifera, tell me? It is the only phylum which includes the multicellular animals without tissues. Means, if you remember the definition for a tissue, group of cells having common origin, performing same or related function, or aggregate to form a structure called tissue. But this is not applicable to only one group of animals, which are the poriferans. In poriferans, their bodies are made up of many number of cells, but cells never aggregate to form the tissue. So that's why these are the only multicellular animals without tissues. Hence, they are not considered as the true multicellular animals, because here you see, I already stands for what I said, true. Actually, metazoans means multicellular animals. So all the true multicellular animals are included in which subkingdom? Eumetazoa. So poriferans are the only multicellular animals without tissues in their body. Hence, they are not considered as the true multicellular animals. That's why they are included in a special subkingdom called Parazoa. Okay. So next, subkingdom Eumetazoa. This subkingdom includes true multicellular animals. True multicellular nature means what? Body of an animal should be made up of large number of cells, and cells having common origin should aggregate to form the tissues. If possible, tissues can aggregate to form organs, and organs which perform the related function together form organ systems, and such animals are called true multicellular animals. So all the true multicellular animals are included in the kingdom Eumetazoa. Now, Eumetazoa includes the divisions like Diploblastica and Triploblastica, otherwise it is called radiata. Diploblastica is also called radiata. Triploblastica is called bilateria. So here Diploblastica and Triploblastica, name itself indicates. So the true multicellular animals can be classified into diploblastic animals and triploblastic animals. So if you ask me the question, sir, what are diploblastic animals? My answer is like this: animal whose body is derived from an embryo having only two embryonic germ layers. So if you remember, when we talk about embryonic germ layers are like this: outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, inner endoderm. So here I want to tell you some basics, like for example, we the humans, now we have this complex body, but this complex body and all the organ systems present in our body are derived from three germ layers when we were developing as an embryo. So when we were developing as an embryo, first in the embryo what happens? All the cells aggregate to form only the three layers, and different organ systems are derived from different embryonic germ layers. If you take human example, human fall under the category of triploblastic animal. Why, tell me? Human body, whatever the organ systems we have in our body now, these are all developed from how many embryonic germ layers? Three embryonic germ layers. What are the names of three embryonic germ layers? Outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. So with this it is very clear. Here you see I have written Diploblastica and Triploblastica. Di means two, tri means three. So what does it mean? If the body of an animal derived from an embryo having only two embryonic germ layers, which are the outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, and all such animals are called diploblastic animal. So what is a diploblastic animal? Animal whose body is produced or whose body is derived from an embryo having only two embryonic germ layers. In diploblastic animals, which are the embryonic germ layers present? Tell me. Outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. Mesoderm is not present. Mesoderm is present only in triploblastic animals. So with this it is very clear. Let me repeat the definition. True animals means animals with tissues and organs are classified into diploblastic animals and triploblastic animals. What is a diploblastic animal? Animal whose body is produced from an embryo having only two embryonic germ layers. What are the two embryonic germ layers present in diploblastic animals? outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. So ultimately, what is the definition for a triploblastic animal now? Animal whose body is produced from an embryo having 3 embryonic germ layers. What are the 3 embryonic germ layers? Outer ectoderm, inner endoderm and middle mesoderm. Okay, so that is the difference between diploblastic animals and triploblastic animals. Here, once again, Diploblastica is otherwise called radiata. Triploblastica is also called bilateria. These names, radiata and bilateria, are based on which character? This is based on a character called symmetry. So here once again student should remember the definition for symmetry. So the simplest and standard definition for symmetry is, if you ask me what is symmetry, definition is like this: arrangement of the body parts according to a geometrical design. So in the body of an animal, body parts are not randomly arranged. Body parts are arranged according to a particular design. Because of that design, what happens? Animal feels comfortable in its habitat. So that's why, what is the simplest definition for symmetry? Arrangement of the body parts according to a geometrical design is called symmetry. And usually symmetry is of 2 types, that is radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. So ultimately all the diploblastic animals possess which type of symmetry? Radial symmetry. That's why Diploblastica is also called radiata, and all the triploblastic animals possess which type of symmetry? Bilateral symmetry. That's why Triploblastica is also called bilateria. Diploblastica is called radiata. So let me repeat the definition for symmetry. What is symmetry? Arrangement of the body parts according to a geometrical design. Why the body parts should be arranged according to a particular design? To make and to feel an animal comfortable in its habitat. Just imagine, when you look into the body structure of a fish, you know, fishes are the very active swimmers, right? Fish body is laterally compressed, and when fish body is laterally compressed, such body structure is called streamlined body, and fish must possess streamlined body to resist the water pressure, isn't it? And just imagine, if fish body is cylindrical, can you expect a fish to swim that much actively? Never. You know, the only vertebrates which can fly, they are the birds, and bird body is boat-shaped. So if boat-shaped body is not present, birds can never fly such actively. So with this it is very clear, all the parts present in the body of an animal arranged according to a system or arranged according to a design. Body parts are never arranged randomly in the body of an animal. So that particular or systematic arrangement of body parts in the body of an animal is called symmetry. What are the 2 basic types of symmetry? Radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. And once again, if you ask me, sir, what is the difference between radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry? My answer is like this. What is radial symmetry, if you ask me? Radial symmetry is like this. If you imagine this piece of chalk as the body of an animal, and this is cylindrical, right? As it is cylindrical, if I want to cut this piece of chalk into 2 equal halves, equal halves means they should be like mirror images. And if I want to cut this piece of chalk into 2 mirror images or 2 equal halves, how many planes it is become possible? That is a question here. So radial symmetry definition is like this. What is radial symmetry? Body of an animal can be cut into 2 equal halves in many planes passing through central axis of the body. Understand? See here, I told you this piece of chalk is body of an animal. What do you mean by central axis? There is no, literally speaking, there is no axis in the body of an animal. But we imagine an axis which starts at, this is anterior part and this is posterior part. So I will imagine an axis which is starting at central anterior part or mid anterior part and it extends up to what? Mid posterior part of the body, and that imaginary axis is called central axis. Now I can choose any plane. That plane must pass through that imaginary axis called central axis. So I can choose a plane like this because this is cylindrical. I can choose a plane like this. I can choose like this. In many planes, I can cut this piece of chalk into two equal halves. That is two mirror images. And such type of symmetry is called radial symmetry. So what do you mean by radial symmetry? When the body of an animal can be cut into two equal halves in many planes passing through central axis of the body. Such symmetry is called radial symmetry. And opposite to it, what is bilateral symmetry? My answer is like this. When the body of an animal can be cut into two equal halves in only one plane passing through central axis of the body. When it becomes possible in many planes, such symmetry is called radial symmetry. When you can cut the body of an animal into two equal halves only in one plane passing through central axis of the body, such symmetry is called bilateral symmetry. You can imagine human body only. So if you want to cut my body into two equal halves, in how many planes it becomes possible? Only in one plane, isn't it? So this is the only plane which you can choose, and you can cut my body into two equal halves. In no other plane it is possible. So that's why human is having which type of symmetry? Bilateral symmetry. And if I go further detail, even you can cut my body into two equal halves like this, but you don't get mirror images. Am I right? Because I have only one heart. Heart would be only on left side, and you cannot see heart on right side. I have only one stomach. Stomach would be on left side of the abdominal cavity, and on right side you don't get stomach. Once again I have only one liver, and liver would be on right side, and you don't find liver on left side. So that's why taxonomy strictly said, strictly speaking, on this planet no animal is having complete bilateral symmetry, but externally it is possible. Body of an animal can be cut into two equal halves in only one plane. What is the condition? That plane must pass through central axis of the body. Okay. So based on the symmetry, animals are categorized into what? Radial, symmetrical. So animals having radial symmetry are included in radiata. Animals with bilateral symmetry are included in bilateria. Simply you can remember all the diploblastic animals are radially symmetrical. With very few exceptions, all the triploblastic animals are bilaterally symmetrical. Okay. Now, diploblastica includes two animal phyla, that is Cnidaria and Ctenophora. See, we have started animal kingdom with which phylum? Porifera. I have to end with last, that is mammals. Okay. So our data I have to end with. So Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora. Next, triploblastic animals once again. Okay, here we have to remember triploblastica or bilateria is further categorized into three grades are present. The three grades are Acoelomata, Pseudocoelomata and Eucoelomata. So here once again students should know this classification is based on presence or absence of the coelom. Once again I have to tell you what is the definition for coelom. Simply speaking, it is nothing but the body cavity. Okay, so what is coelom means? Simply we say body cavity, but where body cavity is present, that is very important. So that's why technically what is the correct definition for coelom? Coelom is the cavity present between body wall and gut wall. Understand? So what is the definition for coelom? It is the cavity present between body wall and gut wall is called coelom. So if you imagine our body once again, this is our body wall and our body design is like this. is our gut, G-U-T. Gut means what? Digestive tract. And this is our body wall. Actually, we have tube in a tube body arrangement. So, body wall is the wide tube. Inside the body wall, what is present inside the body wall? There is a narrow tube. That narrow tube is called gut. So, now this is body wall and this is gut wall. You can see in the diagram. In between the body wall and gut wall, there is a spacious cavity, and this cavity is called coelom. All our organs are present in our body cavity only. So, based on presence or absence of the coelom, animals are classified into acoelomates, pseudocoelomates and eucoelomates. Very easy to remember in biology. Wherever something starts with the prefix acoelomate, A means absent. What are acoelomate animals? Animals without coelom are called acoelomates. Pseudo, once again students should remember, wherever you come across pseudo, which is something false, understand? So animals with false coelom are called pseudocoelomates. Next, U, I already told you, U means true, I said no. Animals with true coelom are called eucoelomates. Animals with false coelom are called pseudocoelomates. Animals without coelom are called acoelomates. Okay. So for acoelomata, only one phylum is example, that is platyhelminths. They are commonly called flatworms. In platyhelminths, what happens? Bodies are ribbon-like or bodies are leaf-like. Bodies are dorsoventrally compressed and flat. So there is no cavity between body wall and gut wall. That's why they are called acoelomate animals. Next, pseudocoelom. Pseudo means false, I said right. In the animal kingdom, there is only one phylum with pseudocoelom, that is Aschelminths. So here finally students should remember pseudocoelom and eucoelom. I said I want students remember what is the difference between eucoelom and pseudocoelom. Here it is very clear. What is the definition for coelom? I said it is the cavity present between body wall and the gut wall, and this cavity should be internally lined like this. This cavity should be internally lined by mesoderm. Understand? So body cavity should be present and the cavity should be lined by what? Mesoderm. Otherwise it is called mesodermal epithelium. So what is the definition here? If you ask me, sir, what is true coelom? It is the coelom or it is the body cavity which is internally lined by mesoderm or mesodermal epithelium is called true coelom. So with this it is very clear. In Aschelminths, coelom is present, but it is not lined by mesodermal epithelium. As it is not lined by mesodermal epithelium, it cannot be considered as true coelom. So that's why it is called false coelom or pseudocoelom. In the animal kingdom, there is only one phylum with that is pseudocoelom. Which phylum it is? Aschelminths. And finally, eucoelomates. Eu means true, I said. So eucoelomate phylum. First eucoelomate phylum. It starts with Annelida. Understand? And Annelida 2. Which phylum? The highest phylum in the animal kingdom is Chordata. So with this student should remember the first eucoelomate phylum in the animal kingdom is Annelida and the last eucoelomate phylum is Chordata. So here student should remember, if you remember, animal kingdom starts with which phylum? Porifera, and animal kingdom should end with the highest phylum of the animal kingdom, that is Chordata. And if you want, on the board simply I have written Annelida to Chordata. But what are those phyla? Tell me. Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. So in the animal kingdom, total how many eucoelomate phyla are present? 6 eucoelomate phyla are present. Which are they? Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. These 6 are the animal phyla with true coelom. That's why they are called eucoelomate phyla. And which is the only pseudocoelomate phylum? Aschelminths. What is the difference between pseudocoelom and eucoelom? What do you mean by true coelom? It is the body cavity lined by mesoderm or mesodermal epithelium is called true coelom. But in Aschelminths, what is the problem? Tell me. Body cavity is present, but it is not lined by mesodermal epithelium. That's why Aschelminths is said to be a pseudocoelomate phylum. And finally, which is the only acoelomate phylum? Platyhelminths. Because platyhelminths are commonly called flatworms. Their bodies are dorso-ventrally compressed, ribbon-like or leaf-like. They are flat. So there is no question of presence of coelom. So that's why triploblastic animals, based on presence or absence of coelom, classified into acoelomates, pseudocoelomates and eucoelomates. So let me repeat. What is the definition for coelom? It is the body cavity present between body wall and gut wall. Based on presence or absence of the coelom, animals or triploblastic animals are classified into acoelomate animals, pseudocoelomate animals and eucoelomate animals. And here I want to stress one important point. Presence or absence of coelom. This question arises only with the triploblastic animals. There is no question of presence or absence of coelom in diploblastic animals because coelom is derived from embryonic mesoderm. Mesoderm is present only in triploblastic animals. Mesoderm is never present in diploblastic animals. So you should not think, like I said, platyhelminths are acoelomate animals. Then what about Cnidaria? What about Porifera? There is no question of coelom in this because question of coelom arises only with the triploblastic animals because coelom is always derived from embryonic mesoderm. Okay, so this is all about broad classification of kingdom Animalia according to whom? R.H. Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification. According to Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification, animal kingdom starts with the phylum Porifera and ends with the highest phylum, that is Chordata.